Hey folks, Rob here. And today we got on the table new product that was sent over to us to try out. And this is from Reloading Basic. And this is a trigger pull gauge. It comes in a clamshell package inside of a cardboard box. And this is a little bit about it. I did take it out of the clamshell just to expedite the video and not make it so long. But this is what it comes packaged in. And inside the package you have your case. It does come with a battery, which I've already installed. Comes with this case to keep it stored in. And inside the unit you have your instruction manual up here. You have your pull rod, and then you have the unit itself. And you actually have a little compartment over here for a spare 9-volt battery, because this it does take 9-volt battery. So it comes with a spare compartment for that. Nice little padded nylon case with a wrist strap or carrying handle. So let's take it out of the package. You got a Velcro here, and you got a Velcro to hold the top of the unit. Now this does shut off by itself after 3 minutes, so no power on or off. You just let it time out after 3 minutes. So you got your little Velcro holders there for your rod. Now your rod is threaded, so it is adjustable in length. And once you get it to the length you want, you lock it down with this top nut, and it does screw into the top of the unit, just like that. And then once you position your unit, your rod where you want it, you tighten this down, and it'll kind of lock it in that position. Doesn't lock it rigidly, but it locks it, pretty close. You can still turn it a little bit. And you have your 4 buttons. You have your average button, your pounds and gram button, clear button, and ready button. So in order to turn it on when it's off, you hit your ready button. And it's reading in pounds, but you can turn it to kilograms and grams, or pounds and ounces. So it reads in pounds and ounces. And so it's got a nice contoured handle here to grab a hold of. The unit's actually heavier than what I thought it would be. This is all metal up here at the top. So this is an all metal unit. It has a beep indicator on it. So when you push your buttons, seems to be a well-made unit, and it seems to be pretty accurate. I tried a few times before I brought it out. But let's test our Rock Island here with it, and I'm just going to lay it down, and we're going to check the single action on the Rock Island. I'm going to rotate my rod down so that we can get a straight pull back, and I'm going to leave it. And now when you first use it, you notice nothing's happening there. You got to push the ready button again once you power it on. You hear that beep, and then it's ready to go. So we're going to place our roller on the trigger up there, and we're going to pull parallel to the bore slowly and as evenly, and we get a 6 pound 7 ounce, 7.8 ounce. So 6 pounds 7.8 ounces. And then you push your ready button again, it goes to the next one. Now why it gets that little variation, I think it's just where I'm shaking it, and I think it reads, I think it's that sensitive that it reads that little bit of movement. So if not, you can clear that out, get ready again. And I bumped the gun, so we're going to do the same. Well, let's cock it first. Let's clear that one out. And hit ready. You hear the beep. Place our roller on. 6 pound 9. So we're getting pretty consistent readings. That concerns me a little bit with that jumping up. I mean it's really sensitive. Let's clear that out. Hit ready. Okay, let's try this again. We're in single action. I'm still learning how to use this thing. This is not like what I usually use. I usually use spring gauge or that pride fin. So 6.7. We're getting real consistent readings. That tells me that it's probably pretty accurate as far as its readings. And of course that 1 ounce that's already on there is just going to be added to whatever. So I don't know that that's an issue. 6 pounds 3. And we'll go over here and hit our average. And we have an average of 6 pounds 5 ounces. One thing I wish it done was told you how many shots you put out, how many trigger pulls you had. I just lost count. I think we done 5, but so we got about a 6.5 pound, 6 pounds 5.9 ounces. So about a 6.5 pound, not half pound, but 6.6 ounce trigger pull on the single action on this gun, which it really don't feel that heavy. It's a little, but it don't feel that heavy. It just don't feel that heavy. But let's try it again, because we're getting really consistent results. 614. But let's see if we can do some double action pulls. So let's go to our average and let's clear the average out. Okay, now let's go back to ready, and we're gonna have to rotate our thing for this, our roller ball. And you can't hardly lay a revolver down and do the pull like that, because you're going to have drag on your cylinder. So I'm going to try and hold this gun as level as I can, and I'm going to hit the ready button. I'm going to try to get it on the trigger shoe and hold this as level and straight as I can, and see what kind of double action pull we get. 11.4. So let's hit ready. 11.6. 11.7. 11.7. Let's do one more, and then we'll get an average. The roller on the end helps it to stay on the trigger where it needs to be. 11.6. So we got an average of 11.64 pounds. So it's reading really close every time to the same. The variations are not a lot. Okay, let's try a little experiment. What did I do with my pride fin? So let's try our pride fin on one and see if we get similar. This is a little harder to use like this, because it's harder to grab a hold of, and the ergonomics on it are not as great as could be. So let's do one on this and see what we get. 11.5. Let's do another one. 11.5 too. This is reading pretty consistent too. 10.15. So that was kind of low. 10.9. And let's try one more. 11.6. So that gives us an average of 11.2 pounds for a, yeah. So pretty close, 11.6 and 11.2. So trigger pull is just subjective anyway. What feels like one weight to one person. Weight's weight, but we're all made different physical abilities, and some people, somebody older or something, might have a real hard problem pulling 11.6 pounds, where a younger man, that's nothing. And a 6-pound single action might seem atrociously heavy, when in reality it's not that terrible. So anyway, guys, this is a look at the Reloading Basics trigger pull gauge. Reloading Basic trigger pull gauge. Seems like a well-made unit. I'm going to use this for a while in our videos and, see what it does. See how it holds up and how it fares. And we'll be using this for Trigger Pull Thursday for a while. Maybe eliminate the Wheeler spring gauge because, it just goes to 8 pounds and it's pretty, I don't know. I've found it to be not that consistent. I've tested it with, I've got the weights off a scale over here of objects, and then I've used that to pick them up with, and I've used this to pick them up with. You have to modify this a little bit and put a string around it and use a hook, and it's a little more harder to compare this to that, but the Pride Vent, because of the way this is. But I found that this to be a little more accurate than the Wheeler. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and until the next video, we'll see you guys later.